So Nintendo might actually be turning Mario Kart into something way bigger than we've ever seen before, and no one is actually talking about it. We're talking about the open world exploration, the mission-based gameplay, 24-player races, and a more social, constantly evolving experience with the game. Not just a few new tracks or another booster pass, this is looking like a full-on shift for the entire series for Nintendo. And yeah, that's why I think Mario Kart World could realistically become Nintendo's biggest game ever. I'll break down what makes this game so different from every Mario Kart before it, how the Switch 2's timing really plays into the hype, and why this might be Nintendo's move into the forever game-like space like Fortnite or GTA Online. So let's start with what makes Mario Kart World such a huge shift for the series. In Mario Kart World, the title should give you a massive hint to the biggest highlight it has to offer. This is an open world Mario Kart game instead of racing from start to finish. This is where you are freely exploring the vibrant Mushroom Kingdom inspired world, racing and battling across diverse biomes that sparks so much variety when playing. You got deserts and cities and water and cows. The size and variety of the map and landscape gives a perception in most players that they have never played a racing game any other like this one before, and this separates itself from all of the rest of the Mario Kart games that just felt like just a new Mario Kart game on a new Nintendo system. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe did have 96 unique tracks, but they were just contained closed-loop circuits. Mario Kart World is an endless playground of going anywhere and doing anything that encapsulates the feeling of huge, massive, best-selling open-world games that you see up on the charts like GTA 5, Breath of the Wild, Zelda, and an open world feel to Pokemon Scarlet and Violet that is one of the best selling Pokemon games. This new sense of freedom makes it feel like this isn't your ordinary Mario Kart game, but that they are stepping into something entirely different, where almost no other racing game allows you to go around to roam and mess around with. This is an entry into a series that no one has ever seen, a huge open world that its previous install base of almost 70 million is waiting for, a granular and more fun experience for its sequel. The open world is not just about cruising around till you get bored to sleep, but that it's packed with hundreds of missions in its free roam mode. With this free roam area as well, the level to which one can explore, such as gliding and driving on the water, seems to really justify the long amounts of playtime and fun one would have with this new entry. Each biome and area of the map has its own shortcuts and secrets for you to discover that have you quickly transition from biome to biome, going from the water to a hidden path with a ton of different challenges. As you are going around the map, it becomes your own playground of exploring and discovering, and this is what I think gives the game depth and replayability, because now there's always something new around the corner. If someone ever thought, man, I love Mario Kart, but I wish it had more to do, then Nintendo came in and saved the day. This is how you keep players engaged for years instead of just a weekend, leading to those massive sustained sales figures fueled by word of mouth. The game is not just shaping up to be a pick up and race and put down kind of game, it's a world you live in. This is exactly how GTA Online turned GTA 5 into a huge success. It started as a great game, but then it evolved into something bigger, a living, breathing playground that stayed relevant for a decade. That kind of cultural sticking power isn't random. It's about building a game that grows with its players, one where you're not just playing the game, but you're existing around it. That's the move here. Nintendo is aiming for what the industry calls a forever game, the kind of title that sits at the top of the charts because people never stop playing it. Think Fortnite, think Rocket League, and think the games that creates viral endless replayability with friends. Mario Kart World has a real shot at becoming Nintendo's answer to the live service model, a game that's not just played, but lived in. If you really think about it, a living, breathing Mario Kart universe that acts as a digital hangout. The Nintendo version of Fortnite, of where your friends and you keep coming back to play to as a social hub with races, with the chaos, and roaming around. And then too, when you factor in the new feature of the Switch 2 with Game Chat, hyping up the social feel, the game is going to be a marketing fuel spreading like wildfire that completely changes things. The voice chat built into the system cranks up the social feel and elevates the feeling of whether it's going on an adventure or competing against each other. This just adds to not the game just being a multiplayer experience, but a social hub with your friends and buddies. And I actually don't think this is going to be another game with a one-time DLC drop with Mario Kart 8 Deluxe's booster course. If you see the amount of marketing and dedication that Nintendo is taking seriously with this game. Mario Kart World is built for constant updates, perhaps with new characters and or content. If Nintendo does this right, they will have fans logging into the game really often to see what is new. New items are gonna shake up the meta, making every race feel fresh. And here's something that hasn't gotten nearly enough hype and attention. For the first time ever, Nintendo is cranking up the chaos of racing by doubling the player count. Now, if you've ever played Mario Kart, you already know how wild things can get with just a dozen players, with all of the items in the game itself already like a war zone when you're trying to race. But with now 24 players, things are going to get insane. This isn't just more players, it's streamable chaos. It's the kind of unpredictability, insanity that makes perfect Twitch clips and viral Reddit posts. I think you're going to see highlight reels filled with people getting hit by 5 items in 3 seconds, bouncing off the walls, flying to lava, and somehow still finishing in 3rd place. That kind of energy is high-level marketing material. It spreads and fuels into memes and gameplay compilations for the variety of different social media platforms that will just eat this kind of stuff up. It's the sort of setup that is perfect for a Mario Kart game to need that no other one has had, which is a huge potential for a really loud spectacle to occur. This alone could turn it into a social media magnet, pulling in new players who just want to be a part of the madness. So the main key here is that the biggest games in the world aren't just games, they're worlds. And Mario Kart World is about to become that. The universal appeal of Mario Kart alongside the massive potential for the Switch 2 will be the dominating factors for this mega combo to explode. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe sold 67 million copies because it's the ultimate everyone game. Kids love the bright colors and the goofy characters, parents think how easy it is to jump in. The open world pulls in a broad variety of fans who want to explore, and those 24-player races are meant for streamers and competitive players. Nintendo took a game that already appeals to everybody and cooked it into a piece of the pie for everyone. And to not sleep on the cultural moment, we live in an era where games like Fortnite and GTA Online don't just sell, they dominate, because they're social experiences. Mario Kart World is built for that. If the Switch 2's install base hits 120 to 150 million, Mario Kart World could have an attach rate even higher than Mario Kart 8 Deluxe's 44%, pushing sales past 60 to 90 million units, maybe even challenging Wii Sports at 82 million. This isn't just a racing game, it's a genre-defying, ever-evolving platform that could dominate for a decade. So that's a crazy reason Mario Kart World has the potential to become Nintendo's biggest game yet. It's not just another kart racer, it's shaping up to be a full-blown phenomenon, like Minecraft or GTA 5, combining open-world exploration, its mission-based gameplay, and that multiplayer chaos into something you'll want to keep playing for years. But if we're really going to talk about Nintendo's biggest game ever, we've got to talk about what that actually means. When you talk about Nintendo's absolute top-tier sellers, a few names always comes up. First, Wii Sports. This game somehow was able to sell 82 million copies for just being a miniature sports simulator, since mostly because it came with the Wii, but still, basically everyone and their dog owned this. Then there's Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, which hit 68 million units. This game completely took over their entire player base that owned a Switch. Animal Crossing New Horizons is right behind it, chilling with 47 million. But to talk back about Mario Kart, this series itself is on every single Nintendo console and is unstoppable. Mario Kart on the Wii was really the one to go out on full throttle, selling over 37 million copies and becoming the best-selling title on the Wii that wasn't bundled with the console. Even the 3DS entry, Mario Kart 7, hit over 18 million, and now Mario Kart 8 Deluxe on the Switch has lapped the competition with 67 million sold. Every console generation, the series doesn't just show up, it dominates. So this is Nintendo's cheat code for printing money. It sells so well because it's super easy to pick up, and it doesn't matter whether you are a hardcore gamer or a casual enjoyer. This sort of game appeals to the broadest demographic of gamers that I have ever seen. It's extremely accessible that anyone can play, and maybe you can easily potentially win, all thanks to the blue shell. So now the question is, what can really potentially top Mario Kart 8's success? This new game would have to completely break records and feel extremely massive that it would need to even shake up the game industry and racing genre as a whole. But timing matters just as much as innovation, and right now, everything's lining up in Mario Kart World's favor. We've got the Switch 2 right around the corner, which is Nintendo's next-gen console that's already dropping in with a bunch of hype. You know how this usually goes. New hardware drops, and everyone's scrambling for that one must-have launch title. Historically, Nintendo's launch window exclusives don't just sell well, they sell ridiculously well. The Switch 2 has been been sold out on all of the major retail stores across all of the major regions ever since the first day that pre-orders have gone up live. Most financial analysts are suggesting for Nintendo to sell well above 15 million units within its first year to make it one of the fastest growing video game consoles to sell for its first year release. All of this to say that if the Switch 2 were not in popular demand, so would Mario Kart World not be so either. And while it is, people are not just wanting to get a Switch 2 to stare into its early prototype looking UI, but the games on the platform, as the first being Mario Kart World. With this game bolted in with the Switch 2, will give the game a tremendous head start to having the interest and word of mouth of the game spread to other players that they may be interested in. So saying Mario Kart World will be Nintendo's biggest game ever is a really bold claim. To be real, beating Wii Sports is an almost insurmountable challenge. That game came bundled in with literally tens of millions of consoles. It was practically given away with every Wii with over 80 million copies sold. And to talk about the elephant in the room, Mario Kart World will be $80, which is the highest amount of the price of the Nintendo game that no one has ever really seen in a really long time. But here's why I genuinely believe Mario Kart World has the muscle to overcome these challenges. The game behind this is the biggest company known to gaming. Nintendo has undoubtedly made the most ambitious racing game Nintendo has ever attempted to create. The unexpected is truly ever unexpected. No one has ever expected coming from the Wii U for the Switch to be one of Nintendo's best-selling consoles. This is the same company that sold cardboard to be integrated with the game, and made Pokemon Go a cultural phenomenon by letting us catch Pikachu in our dark and spooky city alleys. Nintendo has the weird ability to make people forget about logical concerns when they create something genuinely magical. Nintendo's slight price increase will not detrimentally demolish Nintendo's rate for success because of the perceived value that they have shown with this game and of how much trust they have built with their loyal fanbase that they have built for decades with consistent uploads for valuable games. Although some may disagree with the price tag, it doesn't necessarily mean it's the voice from the majority. And if Mario Kart 8 can be one of the best selling games in the world for $60, Mario Kart World at $80 may even make sense for a lot of people if they perceive the sequel to be drastically better. But we are going from a racing game, Mario Kart 8, to an open world revolution for racing games with an expansive world of connecting tracks together. Because while it's true that Nintendo doesn't spend Call of Duty or Red Dead Redemption type budgets, the potential for hundreds of hours of unique gameplay, the endless social possibilities, the forever game experience, that's a value proposition that few other titles can really match. And when you compare that to other $70 to $80 games that doesn't offer that level of replayability or don't evolve after launch, it starts to feel a lot more justified. So I don't just see Mario Kart World as a sequel, it's a real revolution. With all of its features as the open world exploration, the mission-based gameplay, the long-term live service-like potential, the 24-player races, it could be the most ambitious project Nintendo has ever built around one of the most beloved franchises. So what do you guys think? Is it actually possible for Mario Kart World to actually break records, or am I potentially high on something right now? Anyways, see ya.